Hello and welcome to episode 4, season 2 of Time to Start Up, a podcast by the i3 Lab at WPI. On Time to Start Up, we've talked a lot about investors, what they want, how entrepreneurship works, how entrepreneurship is taught, and today we're going to take a little bit deeper dive on the people who make all this possible, the enablers, those who help us that teach entrepreneurship at WPI to make it happen for all the students that have an interest in entrepreneurial mindset, taking an entrepreneurship course, or building their businesses here. My next guest does not need an introduction at WPI. Mike Abrams, he's a WPI class of 77. He spent decades building, giving, and staying involved. And this is not just a conversation about the giving, but we want to have a conversation about who Mike Abrams is, how his life has been, and why has he been involved at WPI for 50 years almost now. Mike Abrams, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, it's fantastic to be here. I'm enjoying it already.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. And he is here for the alumni weekend. That's correct.
It's an alumni annual meeting.
Annual meeting
is tomorrow evening,
which is tomorrow night, and it's kind of you to join us on our podcast. So we want to spend a little bit of time for our audience, and there's a lot of people that know you, but universities have new waves of students and people coming in all the
Absolutely.
time. So it would be nice to get a little bit of, before you decide to come to WPI, where did your interest in engineering or science, or where did that really begin? Was Mike a 10-year-old?
My interest in science was always, I was really good at it, right? I was really good at mathematics. I was really good at science. I was okay in the English stuff, and I was terrible at handwriting. But so the science was always. I remember reading a book when I was in 5th or 6th grade. There used to be a whole series of books. You want to grow up and be a policeman or a fireman or an engineer or a mathematician or whatever. And I read one about, you want to grow up and be an engineer. I thought, oh,
this is me.
That looks cool. What great stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so I was just always interested in that aspect of life. But mathematics was my best subject in high school. So when I came to WPI, I was a math major.
So you fit right in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful. So you were about 17, probably at that time, before you joined WPI. What clicked for you?
I was already 18 when I came to WPI.
Oh, you were 18?
Yeah.
So what clicked for you? You're looking for schools, different places, and you're like, okay, WPI is the place. This is where I'm going to go.
Well, it was the old days, if you remember, right? The 70s. So you had to go to the library and get those giant manuals of all of the universities, right? Peterson's manual and many other ones, and had to go research things. And for me, I looked at the obvious candidates, right? Looked at MIT, looked at Caltech, looked at Rice University, looked at Georgia Tech, looked at WPI, RPI, RIT, sort of all the candidates, and of course the state universities, because I was in Arizona at the time, and Arizona State University, University of Arizona, both have very good programs. But what was different about WPI was the plan. The plan was new. The plan just started in 1970, 1971, and I was coming to school in 1973, and it was, the 70s were a time of ferment and rebellion and innovation, and WPI plan fit right in with that for me. It was like, and especially the early plan, you could almost do whatever you wanted, right?
Okay.
There were no course requirements.
So for people that are going through school now, what was the plan so they can get a bit jealous?
I mean, the plan
how
the
good
plan
you
was
had-
projects, right? Major qualifying project, the interactive qualifying project, the competency exam. There was still a competency exam then. The sufficiency, which is a humanities requirement, and then of course the PE requirement, which nobody really paid any attention to, and that was just a leftover from the ROTC days from the '60s. To be perfectly
I don't think
honest.
anybody's paying attention to it.
Nobody pays
nowadays
attention to
either.
it now either, right? But for me, so it was every other engineering school in the country, especially then and even now, has distribution requirements. So you have to take the calculus courses, you have to take physics courses, you have to take chemistry courses, and then maybe by your second or third year you get to take some engineering courses, right? But at WPI,
Right,
in my
yeah.
year, you could just dive right in. You could do whatever you thought you could do, right? If you felt you could take first year engineering, second year engineering, you could do it. I mean, I was at school with, I don't know whether you remember, he was here for a long time in faculty, and was David Sagansky. So David Sagansky finished his bachelor's degree in 2 years here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, finished his bachelor's degree in another year, PhD in another year after that, right? I mean, he was theoretically, he was my class. He was class of 77, but he was done in class of 75 was his graduation
In
year.
and
That's
out,
what, yeah.
Wow, good. Yeah, we have some students now that they're doing.
Yeah.
It takes probably 4.5 years. We have students that are doing undergrads and masters.
Yeah, combined bachelor's, masters. And I
yeah.
think that's a great program here.
Yeah,
it's a
it's a-
wonderful program.
It's amazing program, and they're going through it. And I see them; they're busy. They can do stuff. It's
Yeah,
just like-
absolutely.
It's
No,
really-
and I think that's the result of the plan is the ability to support students who want to do that and are capable of doing that.
yeah.
But the downside of that is, and especially in my era, it's really easy to fail.
Yeah,
right. It's
you have
really
to be
it's really-
disciplined.
you have to be disciplined, right? And we had in my class year we had probably 20% dropout rate because it was very easy not to go to class, right? I mean, it was like, okay, so I took a no record, I punted that course. Oh well, I'll get
Right.
it. I'll get it next time because I didn't have no course requirements, right? You just had to last long enough to get your projects done.
That's funny. That's good. Right. So you graduate from WPI with a degree in math, and then
I did.
is it true? You can confirm or deny this. That you initially wanted to do a PhD, but then you decided to go into electronics engineering.
Yeah, it's
How did that-
it's the course of life.
Okay.
So I graduated with my bachelor's degree from math. I took my GREs. I'd applied to the University of Arizona to be the PhD program there because my wife to be was a student at the University of Arizona in Tucson. So I graduated from here, and the first thing I did was get married. So I got married June of my graduating year.
And there goes the PhD.
Well, and there went the PhD. Yeah, I sort of looked at the program and what the stipend was, and it just didn't match up, right? So I thought, well, I think I need to get a job.
Okay. So
So-
you went into the workforce.
Yeah, so I went into the workforce, and I had a few little jigs and zags there, but eventually I ended up in an electronics manufacturing company. And I thought, I really like this. I like this stuff. So I went back to school to get electronics and electrical engineering
That's-
while I was working.
That's pretty cool. So, as you're working, I'll have another question about getting married, but we'll get to that in a minute. As you're working, at what point do you start realizing that all the project-based learning stuff that WPI had, this is really actually cool and very applicable in the real world? Or how much of it was it back then? What sort of set you aside a bit more?
Initially, I would say it wasn't very applicable because I was really doing grunt work stuff. I mean, I was hired as an electronics technician. I was doing just bench testing stuff, and I had a boss who told me what to do, and I did this stuff and worked at the bench. Once I'd been in the industry long enough, and I'd gotten the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and was working on my master's degree, and got involved in engineering teams, then
It changed.
and then the work that I'd done at WPI and the project work really came into the forefront, because engineering and product development is all about working together, right? And that's what I think the WPI, the plan and the projects were all about, is teaching you how to work with other people and how to accommodate what you're best at, what somebody else is best at, and figuring out how to make that mesh and accomplish what you're trying to do. And in engineering, you're trying to develop a product, you're trying to build something, and it was the same in projects. You're trying to make something work that you can present as an accomplishment.
And you have to work with other people.
And you have to work with other people. You can't just do it all on your own, right? And that's really what successful engineering, successful product development is all about. And WPI was instrumental in teaching me about that, for sure.
That's good to hear. I think that's still the feedback that I hear a lot from alumni and also companies that come to WPI to hire people. Like, we want to hire from WPI because you guys know how to hit the ground running, and that's a good feedback.
Absolutely.
To have.
And I think it's a differentiator from a traditional engineering program where students learn a lot and eventually they can become good engineers. But coming right out of school, they don't have the experience of working in groups collaboratively, and that's what you do learn at WPI.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to my question about marriage, because so you met your wife Nancy before you came to WPI or after?
No, we went to high school together.
You went to high school together?
Yes.
So high school sweethearts.
Yes. Very true.
You marry, and you've been married for how long now?
49 years.
So
it'll be 49 years in June.
I'm going to round up because I'm not that good at math.
Yeah.
So almost 50 years.
Almost 50 years. Yeah.
So
I graduated in 1977 and I got married in 1977.
Well, that's a wonderful story. But so how does one makes it a success in marriage for 50 years?
Oh,
this I need to know for myself.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have to find the right person for sure. And I was very lucky. I found the right person early in my life, and as my mother gave advice to both of my wife and I at different times, it's you're not perfect either.
That's a good one.
Right? I mean, you have to recognize that, and you have to cut people some slack, right? You have to cut your spouse some slack. You have to cut yourself some slack, and we all do stupid things in life. We all make mistakes, and if you find the right person, that you can overcome those small mistakes and continue being successful together. And engineering is the same.
Yeah.
Right? You make mistakes in your engineering work and your projects and in your dealings with people, and you have to get by those and make success anyway.
And for young people who often worry about, like, am I going to get the best grade tomorrow or on the finals or whatnot? I've heard people say this about one of the most important decisions that you make in life is the person you marry or the partner you choose in life. How true is that?
No, I think it's very true. I mean, I think there are a few decisions that set you on the path, right? I think choosing your university and how much you take from that experience is one of them. Mm-hmm. Your spouse, your partner, is another huge determinant of your life, because it sets a stake in the ground, right? I mean, you're going forward from that point, right? I mean, it's like, okay, you've got some wiggle room, you've got some wire there, but no, it sets a big stake in the ground, and it's very important. I mean, we all know. I mean, it's a truism, right? It's when you're young and when you start university, absolutely anything is possible.
Yep. And
the further you go down the path, the less things are possible. I mean, that's not bad, because you make choices and you're going down this path. And one of the things I remember somebody told me, and it's very true, it's not making a decision is making a decision.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're still
still
Okay,
make
you're
a
on the
decision not to do it.
You made not a decision not to do it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the path you're on. You chose
Yeah.
not to do that thing.
So
right?
for students that are going through finals or whatnot the next couple of weeks, don't sweat the small stuff. Try to do your best,
It's all you can do.
but in the grand scheme of things,
You'll
you're
sur-
at the right place.
You'll survive even that.
You'll survive that, and you'll do good. So you work as an engineer in a few companies, and at some point you're like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna be my own, open my own shop, hang my own shingle. How does that?
I wish it were that simple.
Right?
Yeah. No.
What
it's-
made you go down that road?
What made me go down that road was, I had some great jobs, and I had some wonderful projects and programs I worked on, and people I worked with. But the longer I worked in the business, I'm a difficult person to work with. You know,
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I have strong opinions on things, and I sometimes don't cut people enough slack, and I come across as rightly or wrongly, probably
Demanding.
very demanding. Yeah, I'm a very demanding. I was too demanding as a boss, and the problem was I was successful as an engineer, and when you're successful as an engineer, eventually you get promoted into management, and you become a management engineering manager, project group manager. I even ran a small subsidiary for a while. I had about 30 people that worked for me, and it was not my best. It was not my best thing. I wasn't as good at that as I was of
You like the machines more.
figuring out how to solve the problems. All right. I mean, it was like I was good with customers. I did a lot of customer interaction at different times, and I really after having some run-ins and leaving some companies.
As it happens,
As happens for everybody from time to time. Yeah, and then the last time was I thought, maybe I should see if I can just do this on my own. Just be a one-man shop and go find work and do the work and then go find some more work and do that work. And because I'd been in a business in the industry for over 20 years, 25 years at that point, I knew a lot of people, and a lot of people I'd worked with early on had become chief engineers or vice presidents or even presidents of companies. They knew me and I knew them, and they knew I was good at my word. If I said I'd get something done, I'd get something done.
And you had a pipeline of potential customers.
Yeah, so I had a pipeline of customers, and so I went out and I did a lot of marketing, called up a lot of people, printed up business cards and flyers and went to shows and talked to people and got some work.
Yeah.
Just got some work and did some work, and I really enjoyed it, and I was able to make a living at it, and it was okay, and
That's
I had a lot
wonderful.
of freedom too, because the thing about working for yourself, if I wanted to take the afternoon off, I took the afternoon off, went and played some golf, as long as I got the work done.
He makes it sound very simple. It's way more complex than that.
It is
But
way
it's-
more complicated than that, but actually in that regard, so I was lucky because my wife Nancy had a very good job and provided insurance for me, for example. So I had insurance. I had we had a steady income. So I was able to take the risks, right? Take the risks and go through things, and it worked. I mean, it worked out for both of us. It worked out for me. It worked out for and it was fun. I had a good time. I made a decent living at it. Worked on some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's what you wake up in the morning and you want to go to work.
Yeah, exactly. And some of those years, I mean, it'd be ridiculous. I'd get up in the morning, I'd work all day on something and call somebody, go out to lunch, go do some stuff, and I'd come back and work all afternoon, have dinner with my wife, and I'd work all evening, right? It was like, I got some work to do, and it's pretty exciting stuff, and I just want to work on it. So
Yeah, but that's a fun thing.
It was fun.
When you're not looking at it like, this dreadful thing that I have
it wasn't
to do.
like, I got to go in the office, and I got to go to this meeting, I got to go to that meeting. No, had some fun stuff to work on.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really awesome. All right, so we're gonna switch to your other side of the stuff that you do, which is pretty amazing. Your philanthropy work, which usually people start doing philanthropy when they retire and when they get to a point in life that they're like, oh, okay, my index fund or whatever 401k is so full, I don't know what to do anymore.
I have to give it away.
Right, but that's not the case for you. You've been supporting and helping causes, especially at WPI, and I'm sure other things, for close to 50 years since you graduated.
Well, I've given money to WPI for 50 years. I mean, ever since I graduated. Even though, the first year after I graduated, it was $25, and
But still, it's
was not very
point.
much. I mean, I've always given money to WPI. I mean, WPI was such an important part of my life, and I love the place. I love the people I met here, the professors, the people that I still meet here. Right, that's why one of the reasons I love coming back here. I mean, it's the students get me jazzed. I mean, I love seeing the students that are here now. I mean, they're so much better than we were when we were students. Oh my gosh, it's astounding. But I really got involved in a more tangible way in 2011. So I was at a WPI event, the President's Circle at the President's House in 2010, and one of the members of the Alumni Association board was there, and we were talking, and he said to me, "So, are you interested in being involved with the Alumni Association?" I said, "Well, sure, yeah." I had no idea what they did or what. It's like, yeah.
Who are you guys?
Yeah, exactly. Who are you guys? Yeah, tell me about it. So he explained it to me, and I said, yeah, sure. I'd love to be more involved, and that was really the start of it. So I came on the Alumni Association board in 2011, and that was really sort of my reintroduction, if you will, to WPI as it is today. Right? Not the WPI of my imagination, but the WPI today, and the students and faculty and staff today, and the priorities of the university today.
Today, yeah.
And so that also, as a result, animated my interest in philanthropy and in what I could do to improve the university and improve my involvement with the university.
Yeah. So you're a great supporter of the I3 lab. Now, you supported countless other things in campus.
I have.
I know you have your name in a bunch of
bunch
walls,
of little places, bunch of walls,
of walls, and the library and some other places, which is wonderful. I know you saw your interaction with the I3 lab initially. You saw some stuff they were promoting,
right?
Which was our first Go tank. And actually, we didn't reach out to you. You reached out through the advancement. You reached out to us. You already given a lot. You had your name in plenty of walls. We weren't going to put you in any walls. And I'm not asking this question for you, but mainly for the audience, so you can better understand who Mike is in terms of philanthropy. What made you think, okay, I want to see what these guys are doing. I want to help these guys out.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I mean, my initial philanthropy. So yeah, you mentioned the library in Higgins House, for example. So I was on a vacation in 2016 in Nova Scotia, and we went by a university there on vacation, and I saw this wonderful building that said Alumni Center on it, and I thought, we don't have an alumni center at WPI. Why don't we have an alumni center at WPI? And so I came back and I said, why don't we have an alumni center? What does it take to make something happen? Well, give us some money and we'll try to do something. And it actually worked really well, because they were going to do some renovations in Higgins House. So I gave a chunk of change, and it went in with the money the university was doing to do a bunch of renovations in Higgins House. And we got an alumni center in Higgins House.
Yeah, it's a wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And there's when they redid Stratton Hall. So I was a math major. I had lots and lots of classes in Stratton before it was an old building, right? And and we had a little student lounge that the math chairman at that time set up. That was new when I was there, like a sophomore. He says, took one of the classrooms and turned it into a little lounge, right? So I had a coffee machine and some tables and some couches, and you could go there between classes. And
nice.
Yeah, and it was nice. And we had some department parties there, have a little beer bust. This was back when you could drink beer on campus, the olden days. I know, strange times.
And so be a pub too here.
And so when they were redoing it, I said, I really like to make sure that there's a really nice space for a student lounge in Stratton. So I gave some money
to Stratton
Stratton for that. And so there's a nice student lounge and tutoring space in Stratton now, right? And so that was very important to me. So those were both important. But I go to the WPI website all the time, and I troll around and I look at things.
So what excited you about the i3 Lab?
I was going through WPI pages and looking at different things, and I came across the page for i3 Labs, and I thought, well, this looks kind of cool. What are these guys about? What are they doing? And entrepreneurial stuff. Okay, well, that's kind of cool. I mean, because I was involved in some startup stuff and some entrepreneurial activities, and that's great. So what's going on there? So I looked at it and I thought, well, I bet they could use a little money.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt them. Huh?
Wouldn't hurt them, right? Everybody needs a little money. I mean, it was so I talked to Advancement. I said, let's see if we can do something with these i3 Labs people and help share the wealth and help some students and
we appreciate that.
And give something else for Mike Abrams to do. Other people for him to go bother.
True, yeah, of course. No, we appreciate that. And since then, you've supported us on our demo day.
Yes.
And which you support one of the prizes there, one of the major prizes there, and you've been, which last year went to Braille Box.
It was fantastic.
Jalal, who is also our producer here. Hello, Jalal.
Great guys. I mean, it's so exciting for me to see things like that, right? I mean, I did product development my whole career, right? I know how hard that is, and how exciting it is when something you do actually works.
Yeah, you get it,
right?
Like, this thing's working.
It actually works, as I wanted it to do this, and it does it. It's so cool.
And then later on, just so the audience knows, Mike and Nancy also sponsored the i3 Lab Venture Starter Kit, which is for students that started their own businesses when they form their LLC or C Corp, whatever you guys want to do, or whatever it needs to be done depending on the road you're taking with your startup. There is a little fund that we can use towards your incorporation, which is a really huge help, relief. When I was going through school and even after, I had to use my own money all the time to start my own companies. So this is kind of
I understand that, which is why I look for places where not gigantic amounts of money, I think, have a big effect, right?
Yeah.
And I see i3 Labs and OTI.
OTI and also the Maker Bucks program.
The Maker Bucks program. I see all of those as fantastic opportunities for my philanthropy to have an outsized impact.
Yeah,
right. So I mean, that's why I love giving to things like that. I mean,
we really appreciate that. We do. So, if you were a student today, and would you work in a startup?
If I were a student today, you have to be really brave to work in a startup right out of school. I mean, I remember talking with some other students about doing startups, and we had some, I was always sort of like I'm happy to be a follower. I'm happy to support you. I would have worked in a startup, but I never felt strong enough when I was a student to go do a startup. Right? I mean, you have to have you have to be mad enough. Huh? You have to be mad enough. You have to be crazy enough. You have to have enough belief in yourself. And so I have a lot of admiration for anybody who can do that, let alone students. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do startups because you have to you have to accept that as likely as not you're going to fail.
A lot of miracles have to happen, and
A lot of things have to line up.
You have to click
Yeah.
to work. But the learning that goes through it, even if you fail,
it's fantastic. It's
pretty
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
So it's good. So you're a student here. A few months ago. You come back to campus quite a bit now. You see this new wave of students. From your perspective, what excites you when you see these students? It's like, are they smarter, brighter, sweeter?
They look smarter to me. Yeah, they look smarter to me for sure. I don't. They seem to have some of the same characteristics that my generation have. I mean, you still see, there's the loner students and there's the joiner students and there's the jock students. There's the
typical
there's
WPI cloth.
I walked by Fiji House on my way up to campus today, and it's exactly the same. There were the guys sitting out front on the couches, the loud music blaring out of the house. It was exactly the same as it was 50 years ago, right? Yeah. Fiji is still Fiji. They're still exactly the same, right? So some things are the same, I'm sure. Yeah. But I think probably it's a more balanced group emotionally, and I think part of that is just the era. I think the 70s were a difficult era in some respects, and I think students have a little more psychological balance, mental balance, a little more agreeableness. Yeah. We were pretty singly focused in some respects in my generation, and
it was different times.
It were different times. They were different times. But I love seeing the students. I mean, it's like I say, a lot of stuff is still the same. It was a beautiful day out today, so I walked by the quad, and it's full of students. They're out, and they're sitting in the...
It's buzzing.
It's buzzing. It's buzzing, and it's like, okay. It looks the same.
Yeah. And
feels the same.
So
Good
every generation, they get this, like, when they're going through school and stuff, it's like, oh, this is terrible. This is good. Is the future bright? What's your sort of message to WPI students?
I think it's...
You're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I mean, there's ups and downs in the job market. There's ups and downs in how the economy looks. But at the end of the day, students coming out of WPI are going to be just fine, right? I mean, they're resilient. They've got the skills. They'll find a place. They'll find a way. My generation did. Yep. Most of us found a place. We found a way. And it was some pretty awful times in the mid-'70s and the early 80s. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty ugly times then, too. So, I mean, it's tough now. I mean, it's just different. Yeah. But I think the students coming out of here have the tools and the skills and the mental strength to be successful.
But right? Overall, in the long run, you guys will be...
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. They'll be good. They'll be good.
It's cool.
It's easy for me to say from where I am, but I think it's true. I think it's true.
Yeah, but you went through it. So
I did. I lived through it.
Like the stuff that we talked earlier, like don't sweat the small stuff. You were at a great school. Yeah. You made it a good place.
You've got the skills. Sometimes you just have to persevere, and maybe you have to be willing to choose a new direction. Yeah. Right. Sometimes the opportunities come up, and you have to say, maybe I should be doing that rather than this. Yeah. And
give it a go.
Give it a go, right? I mean, when you're young, I know it's a truism, it's a trope, but when you're young, you have the opportunities to go do things and fail, and it's not going to destroy your life.
Ah, yeah.
Right? You have time. You have time to recover. You have time to get back up and move on.
And you're probably paying rent somewhere. You can go pay rent somewhere else.
Go pay rent somewhere else.
Yeah,
exactly.
The roof's not leaking. You don't have.
That's right.
Yeah, bunch of.
You don't have 5 kids you have to support. I mean, it's
Look at Arjun.
I didn't want to say that.
All right, so we're gonna do. So we do this in all of our episodes now. We do this thing called the rapid fire questions, and we just do it for fun.
Okay.
And to get the take on people. So there's a few, quick questions. Worcester or Houston?
Houston. Yeah, I spent my time in Worcester and I escaped.
Is it Chandler Street or
yeah,
because of my
yeah,
spine?
that's right. It's just the winters. It's February.
Uh,
February
It
is
starts
just
creeping in.
it's so bad. It's so bad here. February is so bad.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. No, I had to go south. I had to get somewhere warm.
I agree. I agree with you. And also, the first time I met Mike, I asked him about his time here, and he goes, Chandler Street is still the same as it used
It's
to
exactly
be.
the same. It's absolutely the same. 50 years later, Chandler Street's still
It's
Chandler Street.
it's still the
Right? It
same.
was bad then.
Yeah.
It's bad now.
Yeah. Pure math or engineering?
You know, they're both fantastic, and I thought I wanted to do pure math, and I was in algebra was my area, but engineering for me, it turns out, is really my love. I love building stuff. I love tangible stuff,
Yeah.
products, and things that
Things you can see.
customers see and
Yeah.
use, and you go, yeah, I
That's
built
cool.
that, and somebody's making a living out of using it. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
That's pretty cool. Most underrated thing about the WPI plan?
Actually, I think the most underrated thing about the WPI plan is the humanities requirement, the
Oh, okay.
sufficiency, right? I think that gives breadth to students coming out of here,
Mhm.
and that a lot of other engineering schools don't have in their curriculums, right? I mean, the projects are great, but that's obvious. I think the sufficiency is what it was called when I was here, the
Mhm.
humanities requirement, and having to have a focus of it and an overarching theme is very critical to engineers working with salespeople and marketing people and customers.
Understanding
and
both worlds.
Understanding both worlds. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it really gives strength to that.
That's a really good point. Best building on campus that doesn't have your name on it.
Well, none of the buildings on campus have my name on it, but I mean, I was in Riley as a freshman. My freshman dorm was Riley. I love that building. I think it's a
Okay, there you go.
fantastic building.
There you go. You answered this, so you're more. I was going to ask hardware, software, but you're more of a hardware.
I'm
guy,
a hardware
I guess.
guy. I mean,
Like-
I did firmware, I did software,
Yeah.
I did signal processing, but I'm a hardware guy at the end of the day. I love hardware.
What's the best book you recommend to young people to read? Do you guys still read?
Do they still read?
Don't answer
Okay,
that.
I think I said this before. It's like I don't know whether it's still called this, like, what color is my parachute, or
Okay.
right? It's like a book helping you figure out what's the right path for you in terms of work and career and going down the road, right? It's a great book for self-examination, and sometimes it's easy to ignore the necessity of questioning your own motives
Mhm.
occasionally.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. Best non-financial advice you can give to young people.
Don't be afraid to try new stuff.
There you go. Give it a go, people.
Absolutely, give it a go.
You can use more than one word, but my question is, if you had to describe your beautiful wife and partner for almost 50 years in one word or two.
Yeah,
or short
forgiving.
Oh,
She's
that's a
very
good,
forgiving.
That's a good one.
Very forgiving. Told you I was a hard person.
That's
yeah,
a-
well, I'm a hard person. She's very forgiving.
Thank you, Nancy, for being
Absolutely. Thank you, Nancy.
And one word, lastly, for WPI. Or two.
Opportunity.
WPI's opportunity. That's a good one.
WPI provides opportunity. You don't have to take advantage of it. But
But
if you
you can.
do, if you can, it's
there for
it's
you.
there. It's absolutely there for you. And that's what the plan was all about to me. Opportunity, right?
Mhm.
It was there. You could fail or you could make something of it. And that was
Yeah.
up to you. And it's still up to you.
Yeah, still to this day is up
It's
to
still
you.
up to you,
Yeah,
right? You get to choose.
that's a pretty good one. Oh well, with that, I think we're gonna wrap up. Mike Abrams, thank you for your time, your perspective, and also for reminding us that impact doesn't end with your career, and it's also what you choose to do afterwards, and how you can impact people throughout your life. And thank you for being a great friend of WPI and a good friend of the I3 Lab and all the philanthropy and all the help and all the kindness that you bring to our campus.
Well, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity to interact with the students and the staff and faculty here. And I mean, I love coming back to campus, and I love being involved. So thank you so much for asking me to do the podcast, and thank you for everything you're doing here as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.